Roland, stretch your adductors. I didn't even know that I have adductors. And it seems like I have even more. There is not only one, there are 2, 3.
Stand as wide as possible.
Okay.
What prevents you from standing with your feet wider apart? Those are the adductors. Also the inside. The adductors are here. These are all the muscle bundles that you feel on the inside of the thigh. There are shorter, very short, shorter, longer ones down here. All the muscles in here. These are the adductors. They are also called pullers. The thigh pullers are those.
Let's make it smooth at my place, shall we?
Let's do it right away. But before we start, adductors. What kind of problems do they actually cause? They have a lot to do with hip problems, with immobility. It can even radiate into the back, so lower back pain. They can also come from the adductors. We want to clean all of that up now. By the way, if you have injured your adductors, always move very carefully. In principle, you can always stretch gently. If you know something is injured, something is swollen or something like that, you just become even more careful. If you are unsure, just go to your doctor and have it clarified beforehand. And now for the exercise. To be able to do the exercise as best as possible, you need a windowsill, a table, or a chair. We took a slightly higher chair. A low chair may be too low because you have to lean forward. You should be able to support yourself upright at about this height. Stand over there, Renee.
Ideal for me.
Yes, stay like that for now, completely normal. And now it's all about properly aligning the pelvis. Go into a hollow back. Make a duck butt. Then you will see from the side, here the lumbar spine is now arching inward. That should not be. The opposite should be. You achieve the opposite by pulling back the navel and pulling up the pubic bone.
Aha. Pull up pubic bone.
Aha. And now you have seen, now the pelvis has moved in this direction and has straightened itself. And that is an important basic requirement for this exercise. Leave the pelvis exactly like that.
But now I don't have a hollow back anymore, right?
Exactly. You are not allowed to have one either.
Oh, I see. Good.
Then you should not have a hollow back, or let's say, make the hollow back as minimal as possible. So, now it's about the feet. You stay with the pelvis like this, and now go a little forward with the weight. Then you notice that the heels become freer.
Do I stand on the balls then?
No, you stay for now and just feel.
Ah, yes, okay.
Now you go back with your weight and notice that the tips of your feet are no longer pressing firmly on the ground. And we use that now. So if you now go backwards and the tips of your feet are no longer so stressed, you walk with your feet turned outwards. And then you shift your weight forward so that the heels are less burdened.
Ah, I know what you mean.
And now you go out with your heels. And calmly take more out. Yes. And you do that first, but now look, now you are too far away from the chair. So either you have to stay in front, or you bring your chair, your table closer, so that you can stand up straight. And what happened to your hollow back?
Did I do something wrong?
Exactly.
Oh, I have to tilt the hip again.
Yes, exactly. It can be, however, if you are already too wide and already have a hollow back, then you can't get rid of the hollow back anymore. Then you would have to place your feet a little closer together again. But with you, it's still going. Stay straight, lift the pubic bone and pull in the belly button. And then you notice that the tension here increases. And that is the reason why we should stand like this.
But now I'm no longer...
Wait a minute. Because if you go into a hollow back, then you avoid the stretching.
I don't understand.
You evade, which means you don't stretch as well anymore. Therefore, raise the demand, straighten the pelvis, then you have the great advantage. Because the hip flexor is still included in most people. And that is the reason why it also has something to do with back pain. But that's just, by the way, as information.
Okay.
What did you still want to ask now?
You said at the beginning that we need the same height. If I go down there now, I won't have the same height anymore.
That's not bad. Taking the arms higher and higher is not a problem. Only if you can't reach down, then you have to lean forward. And that is a problem.
Good.
So, now we have to move the mat a little bit so that you have space for your feet.
I can only come down this far. Don't fool yourself.
And now feel inside. So keep your pelvis straight and keep spreading further apart.
There's not much more to do.
Yes, as far as possible. As far as possible.
Wow, we're already reaching the maximum now.
And now you go into the intensity that you can still tolerate well. Okay, the Renee is far apart. It may be that you can't make any further progress much higher up. Completely irrelevant, everyone practices exactly in their position. So, and now you stay in there for a minute.
Wow, I was overmotivated. Can I take a step back?
Yes. Also again, it's good that we're rehearsing this. If you notice that it annoys so much, it hurts so much that you can't feel positive anymore, then you have to leave. Then you have to decrease the stretching again because it always has to stay below this threshold. There must always be a pleasant pain, okay? And we stay in there for only 1 minute.
How long have I been inside?
You are now about 29 seconds in, yes? So we count from the moment you reach the width where you notice that it stretches properly. And now you can calmly go further in millimeter by millimeter if possible.
Pure means apart?
Yes, but do it slowly, very slowly. Now you can do it with very slow movements so that you still feel comfortable.
Can it be that I am making much more progress now, already after 1 minute of stretching?
The tissue gives way, the tissue gives way. That's why you have to repeat it every day so that it eventually gives in permanently. So, now 1 minute is up and now you do the following. Now you press with your feet against the floor as if you wanted to pull your feet together. And then you notice on the inside everything here is tense. And you do that carefully but forcefully.
Do I have to think about my hip?
The whole time, yes, the hip should stay out of the hollow back as much as possible. Then you relax and test if you can go a little further.
Can I actually?
Through tension, through the built-in strength training, your muscle learns to feel comfortable at a greater length. That is the sense. So this contributes significantly to stretching and at the same time you exert force. Functional strength that you can implement well in everyday life.
Just trembling?
Trembling is always a sign of overload. If you still feel positive, it's okay, but your face tells me you're already too deep in.
I have already been around for a minute, I think.
Exactly, and that's why the exercise is over anyway. 2 minutes are up, and now slowly go out again. In reverse, you slowly go out the same way you came in. Yes. Now shake your legs a little, feel inside.
Phew, like rubber, right?
Okay, and now we will continue with the second exercise on the mat. In the exercise that you just did standing up, with straight knees, the longer adductors are primarily targeted through the stretching. This can also look different in individual cases, but in general it is like this. Now it's more about the short adductors, which span here from the pelvis to the thigh. For that, you actually have to get down on your knees like we are already doing. If you have trouble getting down on your knees, please do the following. Lie on your back, Renee. Okay, now put your legs up so that you have approximately a 90-degree angle and place the soles of your feet against each other.
So?
Yes. Okay, and now go with your hands as far as possible on the thighs. Yes, and relax, and pull the knees down with your hands.
Pull the knees down with your hands like this?
Yes, yes. Now you are naturally a little bit upright up here. It would be better if you lie down, but if you lie down, you won't be able to reach your legs as far. You have to look a bit to see what works best for you. You can do the following. You can put a larger pillow underneath here, then you have more reach and can reach the knee more. Because the more you reach the knee, the better you can exert force to push the knees down.
But I can't bring it closer, can I? That wouldn't be good.
Yes, you can bring it closer, but we start at 90 degrees first, and for most people, 90 degrees is enough. You can already participate at home while we explain this. And you will notice that the more you stretch your legs, the easier it is for you to bring your knees outwards towards the ground. The closer the feet get to the pelvis, pull harder, Renee.
What do you mean?
Pull your feet towards your pelvis until you feel the tension, and at that moment you have more stretching. But if you start with a 90-degree angle, then it's actually a pretty good approach. And if you notice that you can handle more, then simply bring your feet closer. Pull yourself down further with your hands, don't pull up. The hands must push down, the legs, the knees.
It's tight here, isn't it?
Very precise, very precise. So you would do that, or are you doing it now for a minute? We also do it in the position, calmly, gradually increasing for a minute.
But Roland, for whom is this variant good now? For all those who...
For the adductors, for the rather short adductors, for the people who cannot practically lean on their knees. Then we do another variation that is even more intense.
Because I can get down on my knees, so I can also...
Exactly. Now pretend like you can't do it so that everyone who also can't do it, who is watching, can participate. And when 1 minute is up, now you hold your legs tightly and try to bring your knees together, so to lift them up.
But I don't let go with my hands.
You don't let go, you resist the whole time. And you only apply enough force with your knees so that you can hold on with your hands. That is called isometric contraction, right? That is again strength training.
How long?
In the stretched position until I say stop, stop, and now you go further down, yes?
Oh, it's continuing again.
Always stretch, very precisely. That is the reason why it continues there, and you put in power, functional power, which allows you to control your joints better, in this case the hip joint, and at the same time you also get power in general, which you need for your everyday life to be able to move well. And then you tense up again. Tense up again as if you wanted to lift your knees up, but not even a bit. Proper strength training.
How long do you have to do that?
3, 4, 5 seconds, relax again, and once more, pull down one last time.
How did you not come down further?
Yes, it's clear. You may have also seen it in him.
Unbelievable.
Maybe you have also noticed it in yourself. And then slowly relax again. Okay. After he has rested, we will do the exercise in a more challenging variation. And please give a comment, who of you has difficulties kneeling, so cannot do this variation at all? But here's another tip from me, the knees get used to it. If you have very sensitive knees and have gotten used to, oh, I can't do that, can't kneel, can't do a kneeling position, can't do a sitting on heels position, you still try from time to time, because with increasing stretching of all the muscles that are also in the area of the knees, the sensitivity of the knees decreases more and more. So keep trying again and again, and eventually it will work, because this exercise here has advantages over others, because it is simply more intense and has a better effect. You are in the four-legged position. Move your hands a little further forward so that your pelvis could sag.
A question right at the beginning. You said that this exercise is more intense. How many muscles are now involved in the exercise, or what is the difference?
The stretch on your adductors is more intense. At the same time, you are doing a little strength training for your shoulders, for your arms. You stabilize yourself. So there is much more training involved. But the other stretch is also wonderful for stretching your adductors. And now you bring your feet together and your knees apart. Feet together, knees apart.
Like a frog.
Like a frog, exactly. And the further apart your knees are, the better.
Stop, that goes even further. Can I pull it all the way, or is that a mistake?
You can do it, it will just get harder then.
Then I won't do it.
As with the other exercise as well, when the angle is less than 90 degrees, it becomes narrower and more challenging. So, and attention, now become aware, where is your groin?
Yes, I really have to make myself aware of this here, right? And then?
Yes, and now you lower the groin.
Also the groin down.
Yes, but don't arch your back so much. Now lower your abdomen, keep your abdomen up, go down with the groin.
Go down with the groin, keep the belly up?
Do you notice the difference?
No.
Okay, keep the pubic bone up and just lower the abdomen. No, yes, exactly, then you'll notice you're going further into a sway back. Now you are avoiding stretching again, because now you are stretching something else. Now you stretch the rectus abdominis muscle in the front, but less in the area of the adductors, which is what we want to stretch.
But I already feel it down there.
Correct? Yes, and it will pull even more soon, be careful. Now you straighten out your hollow back, straighten out your hollow back, straighten out your hollow back. Yes, and now you walk with your groin down instead of your belly. Of course, the abdomen moves a little, but do you notice it is a completely different control? It's good that we explained it so precisely, because then you can feel it well. So it's not the belly that wants to go down. You're already going into the hollow back again. Stay out of the hollow back. That's not something bad, but it takes the stretch away from the adductors. And now you go down with the groin, not the stomach, groin. The groins are here. The dot wants to go down.
I can't go down any further, Roland.
Exactly. Then the limit has been reached.
Yes.
1 minute. Then you press both knees as hard as possible against the floor.
Why?
So that you can get strength in the muscles that are being stretched right now.
How long?
Until I say stop.
Say stop.
Now stop. And now you go down further with the groins.
Can I? Oh, yes, I can.
It is always good when I say stop, because if you practice it alone, you won't last as long. And the longer you put strength into it, the better the effect. And now once again, you are pushing against the floor again with your knees. You tense up very tightly against it. Yes, get out of the hollow back. Remember, yes, relaxes, and the groins go down more. The groins go further down, and once again, 3 times, 4 times. Breathing, and then slowly go out again.
Completely out?
Yes, slow down.
Okay. Excuse me.
That was too fast. You should not do what Renee just did, because the rules in our exercises are always to move slowly and not quickly. Slowly and consciously. I wish you a lot of fun practicing now. Repeat the exercise every day and you will notice what happens. Here you can subscribe to the channel for many more videos so you don't miss any. We say ciao.
Goodbye.